Some Roosevelt dimes are more than just coins, they're rare treasures that can surprise collectors with their hidden value. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll see why these coins are so special. You might even discover a dime that could change the way you look at everyday coins. Today, we're starting with one of the most interesting coins from the 1980s, a coin that looks ordinary but carries a story collectors pay attention to. This is the 1985 Roosevelt dime. At first glance, it looks like any other dime in your pocket. Small, silver-colored, and easy to overlook. But if you examine it closely, this particular coin has details that make it stand out for collectors. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, replacing the Mercury dime, to honor President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. John R. Sinek, the chief engraver of the United States Mint, designed the coin. The obverse features a profile of Roosevelt, capturing his calm determination and leadership qualities, while also serving as a tribute to his work with the March of Dimes, a foundation he supported to fight polio. The reverse shows a torch symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch for peace and an oak branch representing strength. These consistent design elements connect each dime across decades, making them instantly recognizable to collectors. The 1985 Roosevelt dime, minted in Denver as indicated by the small d above the date, is largely similar in appearance to millions of other dimes in circulation. However, subtle characteristics set certain coins apart. Collectors often focus on three main factors: rarity, condition, and any minting variations. While the majority of 1985 dimes are common and only worth their face value, high-grade coins or coins with small minting differences can attract collector interest. Even without dramatic errors, some 1985 dimes have features that make them notable. These include small variations in the alignment of the date, the spacing of the letters, or the sharpness of details on Roosevelt's profile. While they may seem minor to the casual observer, these differences are significant in the world of numismatics, where precision and uniqueness are highly valued. The minting process at the Denver Mint in 1985 was designed to produce millions of coins for everyday circulation. Dimes were struck with speed and efficiency, but no process is completely without variation. Slight differences in pressure, die wear, or alignment can lead to subtle characteristics that collectors look for decades later. Understanding this process helps explain why some coins, even from the same year and mint, can be more desirable than others. Condition plays a key role in a coin's value. Organizations like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, assess coins using strict grading systems. Circulated coins show signs of wear, like softened details and minor scratches. Uncirculated coins, on the other hand, retain the sharp lines and design elements from the moment they left the mint. For the 1985 Roosevelt dime, coins in higher grades are far more valuable to collectors. Even small imperfections can make a difference in grading, which is why collectors pay close attention to surface quality, luster, and detail clarity. Finding a coin of this type can happen in several ways. Some collectors search through coin rolls at banks, others examine coins inherited from family collections, and some check loose change. Identifying a high-quality 1985 Roosevelt dime requires careful observation under good lighting. Sharp details in the date, lettering, and Roosevelt's profile are important, as are even, consistent surfaces with minimal scratches or discoloration. Over time, collectors and numismatic experts have documented the most desirable examples of the 1985 Roosevelt dime. While the majority remain ordinary in appearance and value, the rare high-grade coins stand out. Their scarcity combined with consistent collector interest drives their appeal. It's also worth noting that while die errors and dramatic mint anomalies often attract the most attention, even minor variations in condition and detail can create a coin that is considered collectible and valuable. When considering value, market demand is as important as rarity. Coins like the 1985 Roosevelt dime are sought after because collectors want examples in excellent condition with clear mint marks and sharp design features. Even small differences in appearance can lead to substantial differences in value. This is why some collectors invest time in carefully examining coins, comparing them to reference images, and seeking professional grading. The history of the Roosevelt dime also adds to the appeal. It is one of the longest-running designs in U.S. coinage, and its connection to a well-known president and public health campaign makes it more than just a piece of metal. Each coin carries a piece of history, representing the mid-20th century and the ongoing story of Roosevelt's legacy. Now, for those wondering what makes the 1985 Roosevelt dime worth noting financially, it comes down to the combination of condition, scarcity, and collector demand. While most dimes from this year are still worth only 10 cents, the high-grade or uniquely preserved examples can sell for far more. And in this particular case, one example of the 1985 Roosevelt dime, preserved in excellent condition, has been documented at a value of $66,000. This highlights an important point for anyone interested in coin collecting. Even coins that appear ordinary can have significant value. Paying attention to details, understanding the history, and learning how to evaluate condition and rarity can reveal opportunities that might otherwise be missed. The 1985 Roosevelt dime is a reminder that coins are more than just currency, they are historical artifacts, collectible items, and sometimes unexpectedly valuable treasures. The next coin we're looking at is the 1997 P1 dime. At first glance, it might seem like just another dime from the late 1990s, but for collectors, it has features that make it noteworthy. The 1997 P dime was minted in Philadelphia, as indicated by the P mint mark on the obverse, and is part of the long-running Roosevelt dime series, which began in 1946. The series was introduced to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who had passed away the previous year. John R. Sinek's design captures Roosevelt's profile on the obverse, reflecting both his leadership and his connection to the March of Dimes campaign, which worked to combat polio. The reverse shows a torch, symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch for peace and an oak branch representing strength. These consistent design elements allow collectors to focus on condition, rarity, and subtle minting characteristics when evaluating coins from this series. While the 1997 P1 dime may not feature any dramatic errors, it is highly sought after in the world of numismatics because of its condition and scarcity in top grades. Millions of dimes were minted in Philadelphia for everyday circulation, meaning that most 1997 P dimes have been handled and show wear over the years. Collectors, however, seek coins that have been preserved carefully, with minimal signs of circulation. Coins that retain their original luster, sharp edges, and clear details are rare, which makes them more valuable. The Philadelphia Mint in 1997 used high-speed coin presses to produce coins efficiently. Even in a process designed for precision, minor variations can occur. Coins that were struck with perfect pressure and alignment show stronger details and sharper lettering. Over time, collectors have learned to spot these subtle differences, which can make a coin more desirable. For the 1997 P dime, this attention to detail means that well-preserved examples are highly collectible. Grading is an essential part of determining a coin's value. Professional grading organizations, like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, assign grades based on the coin's condition. Coins in circulation show wear, minor scratches, and dulling of the original luster, while uncirculated coins maintain sharp design elements, smooth surfaces, and full details. High-grade 1997 P dimes, particularly those graded MS 65 or higher, are considered the most valuable to collectors because they have retained nearly all of their original quality. Collectors often discover coins like this in old rolls of change, bank boxes, or inherited coin collections. Identifying a high-quality 1997 P1 dime requires careful inspection under proper lighting. Key things to look for include a sharp, well-defined date, crisp lettering on the word "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," and a smooth, unblemished surface with minimal marks or discoloration. Even minor scratches or fading can affect grading, which is why professional evaluation is often recommended for potential high-value coins. Although the coin was minted in 1997 and is relatively modern, scarcity in top condition gives it value. Many coins from this period have been circulated, reducing their appeal to collectors seeking pristine examples. As a result, a 1997 P dime in excellent condition can stand out in a collection and become a focus of interest for serious numismatists. In addition to condition, subtle design and production factors can add to the coin's appeal. Collectors examine the sharpness of Roosevelt's profile, the alignment of the torch and branches on the reverse, and even the thickness and spacing of the letters. Coins that exhibit precise features, without signs of wear or flattening from circulation, are the ones most likely to attract high-value offers in the marketplace. Market demand also plays a role in determining value. Coins like the 1997 P1 dime are sought after not only for their condition but for their place in completing a high-quality collection of Roosevelt dimes. Collectors often aim to assemble full sets of coins in near-perfect condition, making examples like this one increasingly desirable. Collectors also appreciate the 1997 P dime for its representation of modern minting techniques, showing how coins from the late 20th century were produced with consistent quality. Its inclusion in a complete set of Roosevelt dimes adds both historical and visual value. Small details, such as the uniformity of the lettering and the luster on the coin's surface, are what separate an average example from one that commands significant attention. This coin demonstrates that even relatively recent coins can become prized collectibles when preserved correctly. Now, the most notable part: while most 1997 P dimes in circulation are still worth only their face value, coins preserved in top condition can reach impressive prices. One example of the 1997 P1 dime, carefully graded and verified as being in exceptional condition, has been documented at a value of $45,000. This serves as a reminder that even coins from recent decades can have significant value when well preserved. By paying attention to condition, understanding grading standards, and learning how to identify top-quality examples, collectors can uncover coins that are far more valuable than their face value. The 1997 P1 dime shows that attention to detail and patience in collecting can turn a seemingly ordinary coin into a noteworthy collectible. Up next, we're taking a closer look at the 2007 D Roosevelt dime. While it may look like a typical dime from a modern year, collectors have discovered that certain examples of this coin have qualities that make them rare and highly sought after. Unlike older coins, the value here doesn't come from age or historical events, it comes purely from preservation, strike quality, and rarity in high-grade condition. The first thing to notice about this coin is its mint mark. The small d just below the date indicates it was struck at the Denver Mint. Millions of these coins were minted, but the vast majority entered circulation and show signs of wear. Scratches, scuffs, and loss of luster are common, which is why finding a coin from this year that is virtually untouched is so rare. Collectors immediately look for sharpness in the strike. On a top-quality 2007 D dime, the letters in Liberty and In God We Trust are clearly defined, the date is crisp, and the rims are perfectly rounded without any flattening. The torch on the reverse, along with the olive and oak branches, displays full detail and depth. These subtle features are what separate a standard circulation coin from one that commands significant attention. Surface preservation is equally important. Coins that have avoided contact with other coins, handled surfaces, or environmental damage retain their original luster. The smoothness of the fields and the uniformity of the metal are key factors in determining value. Even a tiny scratch or discoloration can dramatically reduce a coin's appeal. Collectors pay close attention to the overall visual impression, or eye appeal, which often determines a coin's desirability more than any other factor. One of the unique aspects of the 2007 D dime is the variation in die strikes. Even within a single year, the force of the strike can vary slightly from coin to coin. Some examples were struck with exceptionally sharp dies, giving stronger relief and crisper details on the edges and surfaces. Collectors trained to spot these subtle differences can identify which coins are likely to achieve higher market value. Because the coin is relatively modern, finding pristine examples often requires patience and careful searching. Some collectors examine old rolls of uncirculated coins, inherited collections, or bank boxes that may have avoided heavy handling. It is a meticulous process, but the reward for finding a top-grade 2007 D dime can be substantial. Another point of interest is how the coin's surfaces interact with light. In the best examples, the luster reflects evenly across both sides of the coin. Observing this under proper lighting, collectors can see the crispness of Roosevelt's profile, the depth of the torch and branches, and the smoothness of the surrounding fields. This quality, known as eye appeal, is a major reason why certain coins from 2007D are considered rare. In addition to strike and surface quality, collectors consider small, subtle details that make a coin stand out. These can include the spacing of the letters, the thickness of the relief lines, and even the way shadows play across the design. For the 2007D Roosevelt dime, these small factors can make a significant difference in the perceived quality and value of the coin. Collectors also evaluate the consistency of the coin's rims and edges. A perfectly even rim with no flattening or irregularities indicates careful minting and helps distinguish a gem-quality example from ordinary circulation coins. The combination of these features often defines whether a 2007 dime is a collectible worth holding onto. Because of its rarity and high-grade condition, the 2007D Roosevelt dime has steadily gained attention among collectors. Most coins from this year were circulated and now show the usual signs of wear, but the few that have remained in pristine condition are extremely rare. Collectors often refer to these examples as gem coins due to their exceptional preservation and visual appeal. Now, when it comes to value, this is where the 2007D dime truly surprises. While ordinary coins from this year are still worth their face value, a coin that meets all the high-grade criteria, perfect strike, flawless surfaces, and superior eye appeal, has been documented at $32,000. This value reflects the coin's scarcity, condition, and the demand among collectors for modern dimes that are virtually untouched. It's important to note that this value is not driven by historical significance, errors, or unique markings. Instead, it comes purely from quality. For collectors, this coin serves as a perfect example of how modern minting, careful preservation, and attention to detail can create a coin that is both beautiful and highly valuable. For anyone interested in building a modern coin collection, the 2007D Roosevelt dime demonstrates that value is not always about age. It shows that even coins minted just over a decade ago can become highly prized collectibles if they have been preserved properly. Collectors are reminded to examine coins carefully, looking at strike sharpness, surface condition, and overall eye appeal before assuming a coin is ordinary. In conclusion, the 2007D Roosevelt dime is a rare example of a modern coin achieving remarkable value. Its sharp strike, flawless surfaces, and scarcity in high-grade condition make it one of the standout coins of recent years. Even though it is a modern issue, it proves that attention to detail and careful preservation can elevate a coin well above its face value. A 2007 dime preserved to this level has been valued at $32,000, making it a fascinating coin for both modern collectors and anyone interested in the potential of coins from recent decades. Now let's explore the 2010D Roosevelt dime. At first glance, it may appear to be a standard dime from a modern year, but among collectors, certain examples of this coin are considered extremely rare and valuable. The appeal of this coin comes not from historical significance but from its preservation, strike quality, and scarcity in pristine condition. The D Mint mark just below the date shows that this dime was struck at the Denver Mint. Millions were produced in 2010 for everyday circulation, but the majority of them have been handled, showing signs of wear such as scratches, scuffing, or dulling of the original luster. Coins that remain untouched are exceedingly rare, making them highly sought after by collectors. Collectors often begin their evaluation by looking at the strike. On a top-grade 2010D dime, the letters in Liberty and In God We Trust are sharply defined. The date is crisp and stands out clearly, while the rims are fully rounded with no flattening. The torch on the reverse, along with the olive and oak branches, exhibits depth and detail that are remarkably well preserved. Surface quality is equally important. Coins that have avoided handling, environmental damage, or contact with other coins retain their original luster. Even a tiny mark or minor discoloration can reduce value. High-grade examples have smooth fields, fully defined details, and a consistent, attractive surface. Collectors pay close attention to these factors, often under strong lighting to evaluate the coin's overall eye appeal. One interesting feature of the 2010D dime is subtle variations in die strikes. Even within the same mint run, some coins were struck with slightly stronger pressure, resulting in higher relief and sharper details, while others may appear slightly softer. Collectors who know how to spot these differences can identify examples most likely to be valuable. Finding a pristine 2010 dime requires patience. Many collectors search through old rolls of coins, inherited collections, or boxes that may have avoided handling. The process can be time-consuming, but discovering a coin that maintains full strike, flawless surfaces, and exceptional eye appeal is highly rewarding. The interaction of light with the coin is another important factor. In well-preserved examples, the luster reflects evenly across both sides, enhancing the sharpness of Roosevelt's profile and the detailed torch and branches. This visual quality, referred to as eye appeal, is often the deciding factor in a coin's desirability. Collectors also consider smaller details such as the spacing of letters, consistency of the rims, and depth of relief. Even minor deviations can differentiate an ordinary circulated coin from a gem-quality example. For the 2010D dime, attention to these subtle characteristics is essential to determine true collectible value. The rarity of high-grade examples has made the 2010D Roosevelt dime increasingly desirable. While most coins from this year show circulation wear, untouched examples have become focal points in modern coin collections. Many collectors describe these pristine coins as gems because of their exceptional preservation and visual impact. Collector strategies often include examining multiple angles under strong light to observe minute details. A coin's surfaces should appear smooth, reflective, and flawless, with all design elements fully defined. Those that meet these criteria are rare and highly valued. Another factor collectors look at is toning. Some well-preserved 2010 dimes develop a subtle, even toning over time, which can enhance their visual appeal without affecting the coin's integrity. Eye appeal combined with flawless surfaces makes these examples particularly special. High-grade 2010 dimes are also often kept in protective holders to prevent any handling damage. This helps maintain their pristine condition and ensures they retain value over the years. Collectors often compare 2010D dimes side by side with other Denver Mint dimes from surrounding years. This comparison helps identify superior examples with stronger strikes and better surface preservation. Attention to the tiniest details, like the clarity of Roosevelt's hairlines and the sharpness of the torch's flame, can set one coin apart from another, even among coins that appear similar at first glance. Now let's discuss the value. While most 2010 dimes from circulation are worth only their face value, a 2010D Roosevelt dime preserved in exceptional condition, perfect strike, flawless surfaces, and superior eye appeal, has been recognized at $21,000. This value comes entirely from rarity and preservation. Unlike older coins that may have historical significance or errors, the 2010 dime demonstrates that modern coins can achieve high collectible value when maintained in pristine condition. For collectors, the 2010D Roosevelt dime illustrates the importance of attention to detail. Coins that retain their original strike, luster, and visual appeal can become highly desirable, even from a year as recent as 2010. The coin also serves as a reminder that modern numismatics is not limited to old or historical coins. Properly preserved modern dimes can be just as valuable and rewarding to collect. The scarcity of gem-quality 2010 dimes makes them a unique and important addition to any collection. Finally, the $21,000 valuation highlights the coin's significance. It's a modern example that proves quality, preservation, and careful handling are what make a coin truly collectible. In the last part of today's coin finds, we're looking at the 2015 P. Roosevelt dime. At first glance, it may appear to be a typical modern dime, but for collectors, certain examples from this year are considered rare and valuable. While most coins from this period were used in circulation, a few have qualities that set them apart and make them highly prized. This dime was minted in Philadelphia, indicated by the P mint mark just below the date. Unlike older coins, its value does not come from age or historical significance, but from condition, strike quality, and scarcity in high-grade preservation. Coins that have avoided circulation wear and maintained their original luster are particularly noteworthy. Collectors focus on several factors when evaluating a 2015 P dime. One of the first things they examine is the strike. On a high-quality example, the letters in Liberty and In God We Trust are crisp, the date is sharply defined, and the rim is perfectly rounded. On the reverse, the torch, olive branch, and oak branch are deeply detailed, retaining full definition even years after minting. Surface preservation is another critical aspect. Coins that have avoided scratches, contact marks, or handling maintain smooth, reflective fields and a bright, original luster. Even minor blemishes or discoloration can reduce collector appeal, making well-preserved examples from 2015 highly sought after. Subtle variations in die strikes also play a role. Within a single minting year, some coins were struck with slightly stronger pressure, resulting in sharper relief and more detailed features. Coins exhibiting these characteristics are considered superior and often become the focus of collectors searching for the best examples. Finding an untouched 2015 P dime can be surprisingly challenging. Most coins from this year entered circulation, and even brief handling can affect surfaces. That's why collectors often search through old rolls, inherited collections, or carefully stored coin boxes to find coins that have maintained mint condition quality. The way light interacts with the coin is another factor collectors examine closely. Coins with smooth, reflective fields, sharply defined lettering, and full detail in the torch and branches create exceptional eye appeal. This visual quality is often more important than the coin's age in determining desirability. Collectors also pay attention to finer details, such as the spacing of letters, the sharpness of the rim, and the relief on the torch and branches. Even minor irregularities or flattening can reduce the appeal of a coin that might otherwise seem perfect at first glance. Another interesting factor is toning. Some coins develop a subtle, even toning over time, which can enhance visual appeal without affecting the coin's structural quality. Coins with this natural, attractive appearance are often especially prized among collectors. Because of its modern production date, the 2015 P dime is often overlooked by casual collectors. However, untouched examples that exhibit sharp strike, flawless surfaces, and superior eye appeal can be surprisingly valuable. This coin shows that careful preservation, even for modern issues, can result in a collectible worth far more than its face value. Collectors also note that comparison with other dimes from the same year can help identify the best examples. Placing coins side by side can reveal subtle differences in strike, luster, and surface condition that separate ordinary circulated coins from those that are highly collectible. For anyone who finds a 2015 P Roosevelt dime today, the message is simple: don't spend it, and don't assume it's just a regular dime. Some examples have become valuable coins, treasured by collectors, so careful handling and examination are key. In summary, the 2015 P Roosevelt dime demonstrates that even modern coins can become valuable when preserved properly. Sharp strike, flawless surfaces, subtle variations in detail, and exceptional eye appeal all contribute to its desirability. While most 2015 dimes remain everyday coins, those that meet these criteria are small treasures for collectors and should always be examined before considering spending them. This coin reminds us that modern numismatics is about more than age, it's about quality, rarity and preservation, and attention to detail. The 2015 P dime may appear ordinary, but in the right hands, it becomes a noteworthy and valuable addition to any collection. Thank you so much for joining me on today's journey through some of the most interesting and valuable Roosevelt dimes. I hope you enjoyed discovering these coins as much as I did sharing them with you. If you found this video helpful or fascinating, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, it really helps support the channel. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you won't miss any of our upcoming coin finds and collector tips. Your support means a lot, and it allows me to keep bringing you detailed, fun, and informative videos about coins, collectibles, and numismatics. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video with more amazing coins and stories behind them.